been in meet and greet land, so I missed it. How did it go?
People
Great.
spend money.
Good.
It's an option. What?
If that sounded like a resounding. Well, we have next to the stage one of our favorite guests, an all-out great person, a great actor, and a great opening theme song. Please give it up for Tahmoh, Penikett! I don't call it coming! I'll be a beer, I'm a beer, I'm something beer. Making the tears rain down on my soul. I'm gonna knock you out. Tahmoh said knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out. Tahmoh said knock you out.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
That never gets old.
It never gets old.
It never gets old.
When I see that you're one of our guests, my first thought is like, oh, Tahmoh, I love Tahmoh. And my second thought is, oh, we get to play Mama Said Knock You Out.
I love it.
Have fun.
Okay, brother, thank you so much. Aren't we blessed to have that band, man? They're just so good. It's good to see you guys. What's happening in Washington, D.C.? I'm so happy to be back here. It's been years and years. I don't even know. I think it's been at least 5 years since I did the D.C. show. And how many people are actually from D.C.? That's a good number. Good number. Well, thank you for having me back. It's exciting to be in this great city. How's the con going so far, guys? Good crowd. Good energy. It was nice. The weather. It's not too hot either. I was thinking that it was going to be sweltering when I got up this morning, but it wasn't too bad out there. It's kind of nice. I stole 10 minutes of sunshine before we started doing the con AC, no light and no windows thing for a couple days.
Yep.
Have we already got some people lined up for questions? Okay, let's do it. Let's get into it.
Hi, sorry if I sound nervous. I'm honestly terrified. So what was your favorite part about being on set about playing your character?
You know what? You don't sound nervous or terrified at all. I'll remind you of something, because I go through this as an actor, and any actor will tell you this too. There's times where you just are nervous and terrified. Just remember to breathe. And usually it's a lot worse for you than anybody else can tell. You know what I mean? So you just got through it. So next time it'll be a lot easier, right? Honestly, there was many things. I really like playing Gadriel because I've never done that before. I've never played an angel before, especially such a conflicted, damaged one. You know, Gadriel was very much a soldier looking for direction. He wanted to serve. He wanted to redeem himself. So, you know, for the first episode on, when I started getting more information about the character and maybe the direction that they might take it, and how they started to fall in line with the choices that I made for them, I started just seeing a lot more potential and getting excited about the fact that there could possibly be an interesting arc to the character, which I wasn't privy to. They didn't give me that information, but I was hoping to steer it in a certain direction with my performance, which at the end of the day, I think I did somewhat. And I'm just so blessed to have done it. This gang of people, the supernatural cast and the crew, the writers, the directors, the producers, is really exceptional. I've been doing this professionally for 20 years, and it occurred to me the other day that I've been doing these conventions with you guys for almost a decade now. It's crazy. Time flies. It's nuts to think about it. Yes, and I'm so very blessed about that. I feel so much gratitude for that because it's allowed me to travel the world. I've done conventions all over the place with a group of people that I absolutely love, celebrating a show that we all love, and number one, celebrating you guys. This is the reciprocal thing that we do for you guys to give it back to you guys. And I know this community, this fandom, and I've been privy to so many of them, is the most loyal, the most rabid fan base there is. You guys are amazing, and it never gets old. You still want to do this, and it's really great to be able to be a part of this. So thank you. Hi.
Hi. So first of all, I loved you in Trick or Treat. and I watch that like twice, 3 times a year.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good. It's good. You have to pull it out at Halloween every year, right?
Do what?
You have to pull it out at Halloween every year.
Yes, yes. I watch it Halloween and Christmas for some reason.
I
And,
like that.
so her question actually segued really nice into what I'd like to know. And you've been doing this for 10 years. Do you have any special moments or stories that you've experienced with one of us that really kind of stuck with you or stuck out to you that you'd like to tell us?
I mean, that's a really good one. You're putting me on the spot. You know, these are usually questions where, like, and I love questions like this because they're not the same ones that get asked all the time. It's this is something that when I get off stage, I'm like, oh, I should have sold that one or what have you. I'll tell you this because this is the first thing that pops in my head. What I love about you guys, and I've said this before, but I think it answers your question somewhat. I've seen so many touching moments between the fans of support and love. I love how there's no politics, there's no bullshit. It doesn't matter your race, creed, color, religion, sexual preference. All that it's all accepting at these conventions. You guys are here to celebrate the show that you love and each other, and it's a safe environment. We need more of that. I love how, you know, especially in the genre universe, there's a misconception that a lot of the fans can be introverts or what have you. I love how gregarious and confident and safe you guys all feel when you're at the conventions, whereas maybe in normal life you aren't as much. I love seeing that. I've had people communicate that to me. Some of the fans say, you know, when I'm here, I can be myself. I'm with my people. I'm with my friends. And those people may be from the other side of the world. Do you know what I mean? That's such a beautiful thing, you guys. We need more of that in the world today. It's really, really precious and important. And so, you know, I'll thank you guys again for creating that environment and keeping it consistent this many years after the fact.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So I have a question for you. This goes into what you're saying about vitriol with maybe a little bit more depth into his character if he might have had a little bit longer. But also, I was a fan of the show Battlestar Galactica when you were on it. And I was how complicated your character was on that too.
See that last little bit?
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, say the last bit. I heard you were a fan of Battlestar and then it got all muffled.
Oh, that your character was conflicted on that as well.
Yes.
Which, of course, with the Silent Ones, everyone was conflicted.
Yes.
So, my question is, without pushing any bias either way, which do you think you would have preferred to explore a little bit more, as you put it, art, as far as depth perception and to where his character would go? The one on Supernatural or the one on Battlestar Galactica?
I apologize. I know that you just said a bunch of stuff for whatever reason.
I'm sorry.
No, I caught some of it. It's not you. It's because it's just the background sound and stuff. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. My ears might be getting bad.
Of course.
Sorry. So, which direction would I? My character was conflicted, and then you said.
Which would you prefer of those two storylines to have had more depth into it?
Good question. I don't think that the Hilo storyline in Battlestar could have had more depth. There was, I fought hard for depth in the first couple seasons because we were Grace Park's storyline and mine specifically was very much written as a B, C storyline because there was such a big cast and so many storylines to commit to, and we fought for more. We gave our scenes more depth, and they had to write to them. We gave them more history. They wrote a scene at a certain level. We came in with extra work, and we made it something else. And the writers saw that. They wrote to it. So that was a very learning experience for me. I would say Supernatural. You know, I think Adriel, there was ample opportunity for it to have more depth, and that could have been mitigated simply with maybe a couple more episodes even. Do you know what I mean? I love the storyline. I'm very grateful for the way it played out. But there was opportunity for more, to investigate more, because I thought we started to see Gadriel really realize in the end the error in his ways in being so swayed by Metatron, and he was trying to make amends for it. He was trying to do the right thing, and instead of ending the way he did, maybe it could have played out a little bit longer, you know? Thank you for that great question. Hi.
Hi. Since Jensen and Jared have a big reputation of pulling pranks on the cast,
Yeah.
was there a prank that they pulled on you?
Not so much. Not so much. They haven't, but they do, and they do it all the time. I've been privy to those pranks. I've been in the audience for those pranks. I remember more than a few times. I'll tell you this, and I think everybody knows this, but when we travel, when we're on the road, when we do these shows, there's something specifically about the European shows. There's this one show in Rome, in Italy, that we do, and things get a little crazy there at the time. Maybe the I don't know, days of alcohol-fueled conventions, and they work you hard too. Like they don't mess around at the convention. It goes for days, and you're working from early in the morning to late in the day. There's always stuff going on. I wish I had a good story about them pranking me. What I will tell you this is Spade, the genius that he is, storyteller that he is. Every day that we would have lunch, or that a bunch of us are in the room at the same time, on cue he starts telling a story, usually about another convention where something happened, some sort of shenanigans with all the boys, and very quickly we're all in tears. We're all laughing so hard. And people are interjecting, telling their version of the story. Everyone's getting the balls busted. It's one of my favorite things about this group, man. Everyone's always taking. I should be saying, well, yeah, I can say this is a British term, taking the piss out of each other, right? That's what they do. Everyone's busting each other's balls, but it's safe. It's good. It's all in good fun, and anyone is susceptible to it. And if you work on their set, you see it. Like they're serious. They get the job done. But there's a lot of joking around going. There's a lot of pranks. There's a lot of stuff happening. I won't share too much more, but I was privy to a certain prank. I don't know if you could call it that, where Jared tried to flush Misha's brand new iPhone down the toilet, which had me crying in tears. I think Misha was crying too, but maybe not laughing tears. Yeah. Thank you, man.
Hi, so I was wondering, with a character like Gadriel, where you know that he's going to possess Sam, and so the character's going to be portrayed by more than one actor in the course of the show, is there a sort of conversation that happens between you and Jared on how to develop the character and how to portray the character?
You would think so. You would hope so. As an actor, you'd be like, I would hope that that's going to happen, right? Especially when you go on set and you run into Jared on the day, and you're like, hey, and Jared's like, hey, man, congratulations on the date, it's so cool. And you're like, yeah, man. And he's like, he tells you that, I've told the story many, many times, but I had no idea that he did the role before me. I remember when I ran into him, he gave us congratulations and said some stuff. It's gonna be super cool that we're both doing this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. And then I went to do my scene, and the director said, hey, listen, we're just about to start the scene. It's my first big scene of playing Ezekiel, Gadriel. And he's like, do you want to see what Jared did? And I was like, well, what do you mean, do I want to see what he did? What he did with what? He goes, well, playing Gadriel. And I said, are you serious? Because I was told that I was playing him first, that he would go after me. Are you telling me that the lead of the show, the guy that I'm supposed to be imitating, has gone first? I won't be. He's like, yeah, we squeezed in a scene the other day, so do you want to see it? Because we got about 2 minutes before we're going to shoot. Yeah. I wanted to round kick his leg. I was so upset. I was like, yeah, I think that would probably make sense. Try to play it cool, that I would see the scene, the lead, who I'm supposed to be imitating. I'm so happy that you're so confident in my genius, that I'm some sort of amazing actor who could just watch Jared and imitate him after I've made all these choices. They're probably gonna go out the window. But again, I've told this before, but Jared was very specific in the way he was moving. He was very angelic, almost superhero-like, very purposeful in the way he moved, and his voice kind of fell in line with what I was hoping to do. I wanted I wanted it to not sound contemporary when he spoke. It's almost a Shakespearean sort of thing, It's there was more purpose in punching the words, and it all kind of worked out. But I'll tell you, the terror that I felt inside. My God, did I feel? I was like, oh boy, I'm gonna get fired real quick here, and these assholes set me up for it. They were like, did they do that on purpose? Yeah. Anyway, it ended up all working out. These are the things that we deal with as actors. As long as I've been doing this, you can be super confident in your craft, but there's always things that happen on set where, as a professional, you just got to take a deep breath and get through it, because there's going to be things that happen. A dear friend of mine recently had he was working on a show. He had an amazing first day, beautiful writing, smashed it. Everyone's coming up to him, buddy, amazing performance. You're so good. Thank you. So his head is this big. He's walking around like, I'm an amazing actor. The next day he goes in, he's got a big monologue, and he doesn't realize that he didn't see the pages, the rewrites. And this showrunner is like, no, you gotta get to the word. Like, he stopped every time that he didn't get the word right, and he had to redo it. So he's trying to re-memorize a monologue on the fly, and it was the most stressful thing he's been through in 21 years of professional career. Like, he almost walked off set. He was so stressed out because he couldn't do it, couldn't get it done. He got through it, they did it, but this stuff happens to us. So, I don't know, sometimes they got a little too much confidence in us, so they're just absolutely neglectful when thinking about how hard this craft is already at times. Thanks.
I really love the character you played in Dollhouse. I thought it was phenomenal.
Thank you. I was just talking about that with the meet and greet.
Yeah, amazing. And one way to look at it, it was kind of an early look at toxic masculinity. Your character was certainly struggling with that aspects of it. You were talking about being 20 years in the industry. Are you seeing that conversation? And you particularly, you're a strong dog, nice guy. So I could perceive that you get toxic, like, roles that are looking at this a lot, or auditioning for them. Are you seeing toxic masculinity being discussed more in the industry? Are you seeing it happen more in the roles you're getting offered that you're auditioning for?
I think there's definitely been a shift. There's definitely been a shift in terms of the writing. I think people are being more sensitive to it and trying to steer away from it. Obviously, more needs to be done, but it's nothing is ever quick in this business. I mean, there's been some huge things that have happened over the last few years. Like, you look at someone like Harvey Weinstein, one of the most powerful people in Hollywood. I mean, how long has he gone to jail for? 130 years or something? And because I am a 6'3", 215-pound male, I'm not privy to some of the wrongs that are done in the business and have been done for a very long time. I think there was a real culture of communication and disrespect and habit that many of these powers that be had from years of it being maybe not encouraged, but just allowed. And that change is happening, and it's good to see. And what I'm seeing in a positive way is that there's just so many more stories that are focused on women, powerful women, and they're the focus in the storyline. I mean, I come from on my indigenous side, it's a matriarchal, matrilineal line. We're all about our women. We revere our mothers and our grandmothers. So I celebrate that 100%. There can't be enough of it. There needs to be more, but there are positive changes happening. And I think that's part of the way you do it. We start focusing on our beautiful and powerful females, and our mothers and our aunties and our sisters, and start telling their stories. And that'll definitely mitigate and start encouraging the overdue change that we need. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Casey.
Hi.
I was wondering if you were able to take anything home from set, and if not, what you would want to have taken home.
Well, I didn't take anything, but I would have taken that leather jacket. Because I love a good leather jacket. And I have taken a leather jacket on a few different shows. Funny enough, I did a movie that I did half a day, we got half a day of filming on it. It was the first day, and things shut down for COVID. It was March 16th, a few years back. And I didn't know that show was gonna come back. 4 months later, we did. The film industry in Vancouver really got everything together, and they got everybody back to work. And I'm very thankful for that. But on that show, one of the jackets that they had for me was a jacket very similar. And so I talked to wardrobe afterwards, and I said, can we make something work? And they said, you're gonna have to pay for it, or we're gonna give you a big discount. So in a sort of way, when I wear that jacket, I think about Gadril. And I often wear it with a hoodie too. I used to rock that style beforehand, but it doesn't matter. It makes me think of Gadril. I got a Gadril swagger when I'm wearing it. Thank you.
Hi, my
Hi.
name is Esperanza. I'm from the local area, and
Thank you for having me.
Oh, we are very happy to see you. I loved your character. You are awesome. I was
Thank
like,
you
oh,
very
you're
much.
still on. And, oh, not so. I really wanted to ask, when you auditioned for the role, did you know what you were getting into? Did you watch any of the shows? Did you know we were like this huge family of Fandom? I know you have a little bit of that with Battlestar Black.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I came from a different fandom. The Battlestar fans were really quite active, and I was doing conventions for years before I did SPN. I was very familiar with them. I've been doing them all over the world, and I'm familiar with fan bases and conventions, and still enjoyed it and liked it. But this has been a really refreshing thing for me. The show itself, of course, I was familiar with it because it was one of the it started right around the same time as Battlestar. It was one of the long-running shows that were shot in Vancouver. So definitely aware of it. Would catch episodes here and there. And in the first 4 seasons, it was kind of that show. You could do that. You could pop in there and just enjoy it. And that's usually what I did. While the show was happening, though, I wasn't watching too much else other than Battlestar and working. The shows that I did watch were I was watching a lot of when Battlestar was happening, I was making a point of things like Sopranos, all the other initial cable shows that really set the precedent for streamers, all this exceptional writing. That was kind of my buzz at the time. But I was aware of the fandom, but it took me a while because again, I'd done them for so many years. I was like, it can't be that different for me to really start doing conventions with you guys to really realize how special this fandom is. And it's like I said before, I'm just so grateful to be a part of it. And we're sitting here, years after the fact, and the show went as long as it did. I don't see these conventions dying off. I don't know why they would. There's 15 years to discuss and to hang out, so.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm Jackie.
Hi.
Hi. So you've played a lot of diverse characters over the years, from Gadriel and Kilo and the sort of dorky wizard in Rift World.
What do you mean dorky?
I loved him, but he wasn't. So which character, out of all the characters you've played, is closer to who you are? And which character is furthest from who you are?
That's a really good question. You know what? My closest friends would tell you, honestly, the dorky wizard is probably closest to me. Because when you get to know me, and when I'm not too consumed with my stresses and being an actor and a parent and a partner and just the things that I put on my shoulders, I'm very much that dorky wizard. I love making people laugh, and I love joking around, and that's what I do with my closest friends. I don't often show that side to people that I just meet. They're not privy to that. And many people in the industry, the powers that be, even casting and stuff, don't get to see that. So they've never really given me that opportunity. So that's why when I did that short. When my agent came to me, she's like, look, there's this short film about a wizard, dimension traveling, kind of a comedy, and there's absolutely no money. I was like, come again? You want me to do what? I was actually just following through with a dream of mine to train in Thailand, in Muay Thai too. I planned this trip, and I was just like, you'd have to cut your trip short a bit and come back to Toronto and run around in minus 25 below weather with no shirt on. But I think it's a really good script. No money, but you'll have a bonus. What are you saying to me? And then I read, she goes, just read it. So I read the script, and it had me in stitches. It was so good. And then on top of that, my dear friend Erin Cartlock was the other lead. And we went to acting school together, and she's really funny. She's a brilliant comic. Her comedic timing is exceptional. And Erin and I never had the opportunity to work professionally together. So I signed up and I did it. And then we ended up doing a bunch of little webisodes. They changed the name a little bit. And that, honestly, out of all the things I've done in 20 years of career, was one of my favorite things. Because we didn't have a crazy budget. And when you have to be funny and quick and hit it, and you've only got a couple takes, it's amazing what comes out of you. And my mission was just to crack up Erin in every take. And that's all I tried to do. And I was very successful many different times, which made me very happy. We were in tears on set. It was just, some of it was so ridiculous. But that stuff, I really hope to do more of, because it's really fun for me. It's really gratifying. And I love playing, these upstanding, heroic characters. And, I'm a martial artist. I love doing fight scenes. I like doing all that stuff. But I've also done it. There's another side of me that I don't often get to do, and I do hope that I'm able to do more of in the future. So thank you for that great question and observation.
My name is Jade. So I loved you as Gadriel on Supernatural. Before Supernatural, I did know you on Dollhouse. My question was, what was it like playing Paul on Dollhouse?
It was something that I was very, very excited about. When my manager called me up, and I was still doing Battlestar, and he said, listen, Joss Whedon wants to talk to you. And I said, Joss Whedon wants to talk to me? He wants to actually talk, on the phone? He said, yes. He wants to talk to you. He's a big fan of Battlestar. He's doing a new series with Eliza Dushku, and he's got you in mind for one of the main characters. I said, well, let's make it happen. Let's get him on the phone. And I had a wonderful conversation with Joss for a good half an hour. And he told me about the idea for the script. He broke it down for me, kind of gave me his pitch. And immediately it made me think of a book that I read, Never Let Me Go. And he was like, wow, I didn't even make that connection. I've read that book, and that's a really, that's an interesting comparison, and I totally see how you got that. Anyway, we clicked, we vibed, and I was very, very excited to play that role, and I'm so grateful that I did it. I really wish that we had 3 seasons. I don't think the 2 seasons, there was just so much opportunity for more. The writers have really fleshed out a long and interesting arc, and they were really hoping to at least get the 3 seasons to be able to serve that story, But when we found out, I remember being on set, I think it was the 6th episode of the 2nd season, and Joss could tell something was on his mind, and we were doing one of those scenes where all of us were in the scene, and he said, listen, I've got an announcement to make. The network has let us know that we're going to be canceled, but they're going to let us finish out the 13 episodes. So that was a little bit sad, but it also, gave me an opportunity to just really enjoy every minute that I had left of this amazing cast and playing this character. Something really quite liberating in that too, I know for some of the younger cast, I think they were really depressed and down about it for a while. And, I was definitely sad too, but it was freeing in a sort of way, because the show, unfortunately, it was really trying for a while. There was so much hype about the show. We were so excited to do it. But then by the time we shot the pilot, excuse me, and they cut it out and they added scenes and they kind of took some of the scenes and put it in the first couple episodes, things started unraveling a little bit. And there was a real insecurity, an unsettled sort of stress about whether the show would survive, because we weren't coming out of the gate strong. And any television show has to come out of the gate strong. You have to nab your audience. And Joss's fandom was already built in, but we were struggling a bit. So, in a long-winded way, all that I tried to put into the character, and I think it was appropriate because Paul was a very driven man. He was obsessed, but he was also he carried a lot of weight on his shoulders, and he was. I think that came through in the performance. At least I hope it did. I haven't seen the show since we aired it. I just noticed that it's on Disney, guys. So if you're looking for a new one you want to check out, then you should see that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
So my first role I watched you on was Castle, and when we saw you Supernatural, I was like, I don't trust him immediately. Just because of...
Sorry, put the mic a little closer to him.
My first role I saw you on was in Castle.
Oh, yeah.
And so when I saw you in Supernatural, I was like, I don't trust him already. So
I wasn't the nicest man in Castle.
So my question is, what was it like playing such an evil character? Like I know you talked about some of your favorite roles you played, but for that one, just what was it like being such an evil character?
Castle?
Yeah. And cold?
Yeah, he was just, I think he was a classic sort of, probably just a little bit of a, sociopath, right? He was just a cold-blooded killer. He was a guy who was completely disconnected, and killing people meant nothing to him. It meant nothing. It was like, stepping on ants. He wasn't affected by it, and there's something interesting playing a character like that, I'll tell you, shooting downtown LA on the top of a 17-story building and doing a crazy action scene with Stana was like one of the highlights for me in terms of action stuff. Like it was a blast. I loved playing that character. I loved doing the scene with Stana. She's such a gamer. She wanted to be thrown off the side of the building. When I grab her and I toss her,
Yeah.
she wanted to do the stunt. The showrunner was like, Rob was like, no, it's not happening. She's like, no, I can do it. I'm ready. I want to do it. She's like, Stana, no, it's not. You're my lead actress. And guess what happened? Guess what happened to the stunt woman who did it on the first take? Her nose got put over here. Oh. And I watched it happen. I literally watched it happen, and I was mortified. I've seen some gnarly things on set, like that poor girl on her nose, because she goes off she's cabled up, obviously, but the stunt community, they are legends. They're rock stars. I have so much respect for them. They make everybody look good, and they're badass mofos, man. They're crazy. They're usually really calm and chill, but they'll do the craziest stuff. And they're so tough. This woman went off the side of the building and she hit the wall. Luckily, the speed when the cables caught, it just slammed her in, and her nose went over the side. Like it was broken. And she dusted herself off, and she did that take again. Oh my God. That's how tough they are. I would have been shrieking, demanding that they call my mom and get her on the phone. I don't know. I'm telling you, she was tough. But Stana wanted to do it. Anyway, the whole thing was a blast. I wish there was more, but it was a lot of fun. I think there was some comedy to him at the end too, when he meets his end. It's a little just. He got what was coming to him, especially for Stana's mom, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Hi.
Hi, I was wondering, what is your theme song?
What is my theme song?
Yes.
That's a really good question. Ride the Lightning, Metallica. Yeah! That's the first one I've had. That's a great question. What's your theme song?
She works hard for the money.
She works hard for the money. That's a great one. Nice work. I'm gonna ask somebody that too. That's a good one. I feel like, are we getting close? How much time do we have left? 2 minutes? Okay. Hey, real quick, just so I don't forget, a new show is coming out, Devil in Ohio, on Netflix, September 2nd. Tweet about it, be about it, watch it. Might see some of you recognizing it. might, you should. Support it. Check it out. It's going to be very, very good. And I kind of have a feeling that this audience might be into it a little bit, if not a whole lot. It's right up your alley. Trust me on this one.
Hi, I'll try to be really quick. First of all, thank you for being here. You're great.
Thank you.
And my question is, I'm really into horror movies, like borderline questionable. And I was going to ask if you could be any spectrum of them. Like, who would you be and why?
In terms of the horror genre?
Yes.
I mean, I'd love to do it. I'd love to do it. I did one with a director who passed away not too many years ago. It was a famous old director, Monty Hellman. What was that called? Something Ashes. Ashes. Anyway, it was a short film. It was an anthology, so there was 4 different stories in this film. And my version actually went to Cannes for the short festival. Trapped Ashes, I think. You should try and find it. Yeah, try and check it
I will
out.
look into it. I will definitely look into it.
Yeah, it'll come up. It's on IMDb or something. But I did it a lifetime ago. But it's good. You should check it out. Monty's an amazing director.
Thank you.
Thank you. I feel like the boys are coming. I want to say one more thing briefly. I'm a big reader, but I also get into an audiobook here and there, especially when I'm traveling. I've read a book recently, or I've listened to a book recently. It's narrated by the writer, and the writer is a pastor, and it's just got this beautiful cadence and voice to him. It's called The 5 Secrets You Must Discover Before You Die. I highly recommend everyone check it out at some point. It's been really profound and grounding and inspiring, and just check it out. I want to talk to you guys about it next time I see you at a convention. Be well, I love ya.
Tahmoh, Penikett! I hope he's back tomorrow so we can do that song again. Hello everybody, it's a full house, which must mean it's the end of the show. Thanks for coming.